inside out. I just love God and how He is such a good father. Today I was driving to work, and first of all, I was late for work, like later than what I normally am. And here, like ever since like maybe October, I have just been just experiencing slack, and it feels like something is holding me back. It's like I'm going back into um, my old ways. It's like I'm relaxed. Um, it's hard to explain it, but it's like I'm battling. It's an everyday battle, trying to do the everything, everyday normal things, and this morning, I woke up late. I wake up all throughout the night, and you normally I'm really sensitive to the Spirit of God, and I would, either get up and just kind of, talk with Him, or uh, write, or just get up and go to my prayer room. But here lately, I have not. It's like I'm going into like a deep uh, coma type sleep. I still dream, but it's I can't even explain it. But this is the I'm going the long way around here. But it's like I have been like resorting back, or I'm being pushed back into my old habits and my old ways. And normally where I would get up, I would be so excited, and to go and meet with God. It's like I can't even get up. I used to be to where I could wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning without an alarm, and now my inner alarm is not working. So as I was driving to work, God puts stuff, brings stuff to me in a practical way, because He knows His daughter is a little bit challenged when it comes to grasping things. So He speaks to me in the practical, so that I can get it. And so as I was driving, He began to bring me to a bowling alley. And when the kids go to the bowling alley, they put the bumpers up, or anybody who's inexperienced, they put the bumpers up so that they would, without fail, be able to not just make a strike, but be able to hit some of the pins, because you have the bumpers, so there is no way that the ball can go down in the gutter. And so he began to bring that to me, and I was like, oh my God, what I need to do is start back doing what I was doing when I was getting up at 3 and 4 o'clock, set my alarm clock. So he began to tell me, put the bumpers up. That is what the bumpers are there for, to help you, to guide the ball to be able to hit the pins. Yet, not necessarily a strike, but you might get a strike, depending on, how your form is, and how hard you thrust the ball down the alley. So it's the same way in our lives. Go back to those basic things, those things that were used to help you uh, be able to get to the place where you need to be. Just because you're at you're very well seasoned, and you know the word front backwards, and you read the Bible 50,000 times, does not necessarily mean that you won't experience this. But I really believe that He has things in place: grace, mercy, His faithfulness, things in place, so that when we are in our weakness, when we experience weakness, we can lean and depend on Him, which we're supposed to do that anyway. But sometimes we get so big for our britches that we feel like doing those little bitty things, like setting an alarm clock, is like beneath us. But those things are there to help us to build back up to the place where we were. And you have to understand that when you are elevated and you move from level to level, of course you're going to go in at entry level at that level. So you have to be built up in your faith. You have to be built up um, in that muscle, has to be built up. The muscles have to be built up to sustain you in that next level. So man, it was I know I went the long way around, but it's so good to me that we serve a God that is so simple, and that he has things in place to help us get a strike. To knock down all of those pins on the alley. He has things in place so that we can't fail. And just because you have a moment of failure does not mean that you're a failure. It's all about getting back up and coming back at that thing, stronger and stronger each time. So put your bumpers up. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Especially me. I haven't bowled in a while. Ain't no tell. I'm probably going to have to put the bumpers up. So don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of having to ask for help, having to, reach out and have accountability. And I'm preaching to the choir here, because I feel like nobody else is going through what I'm going through, and that's a lie. That's a lie of the enemy to keep you where you are. So the next time you go to the bowling alley, put the bumpers up, especially if you know good and well that that you're not strong enough to get that ball down, and hit those pins. So put the bumpers up. It's there for you, to guide you, to help you, to assist you, to be able to strike down the pins, knock down the pins on this walk in this life.